Shri Dr. Arvind Gupta ji, director of this Vivekananda International Foundation, who is presiding over the session, and my long time elderly friend and guide, Shri Auditorium ji, Sister Vijaya ji, elders who are here, sisters and brothers. Are you listening?
Yes.
I am not asking, are you hearing? Because Raju Malhotra ji has been shouting and shouting, but who is listening? Both Rajiv ji and Vijay ji, they have come out with another book after Snakes in the Ganges. I had the opportunity in Delhi to participate in the launching of that book also in the same capacity as I am doing it today. That was in a different hall some time back. In the introduction itself about Raju ji and Vijay ji, Dr. Arvind Gupta has mentioned many things. Raju ji has been a crusader, a fighter, and he has been battling for Bharatiyas, for Bharat, for decades now. And I call him a Dharma Yodha. His seminal works and writings that have appeared, published in the past, have stirred the conscience of the knowledgeable people, well-meaning people of this country and elsewhere. Repeatedly, Breaking India book was referred here, Being Different, Indranet, Non-Translatables, Snake in the Ganga. All these are fantastic seminal writings by Rajiv ji and some of them co-authored by Vijay ji. They have opened a new world of understanding and analysis of the intellectual space, particularly of our country. Rajiv ji lives in US, but his soul is here, body is there. And he understands the world from both the angles. From the Western angle, he studies, and also, as we all know, he is well deeply rooted in the Indian traditional knowledge system, the Vedic roots. Over the years, he has tried to put forth those ideas in the modern context. I think he is one of the first persons to bring the idea of this Purva Paksha and Uttara Paksha in English writings. See, in Bharat, in the Bharatiya languages, I should speak that way in Hindi here. तो भारत में, भारत के जो भाषाओं में भारतीय परंपराओं के बारे में जो आता है वो इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग वर्ड को समझ में नहीं आता, क्योंकि भारत के चिंतन जो है द इंडियन माइंड, द इंडियन system of understanding, as just now Vijayji was mentioning about the experiment that is going on in Chhattisgarh. And there are scores of such places in Bharat even today. वो समझ में नहीं आता क्योंकि हम उससे कट ऑफ हो गए हैं बहुत पहले. To that extent, Meghalaya has been successful. Who aim to form a class of Indians, as we all know, that's a famous sentence of Meghalaya, Indians in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinions, in morals and in intellect. तो इसलिए मेघालय को आनंद ही हो रहा होगा wherever he is. Even after 75 years of independence, we are struggling to have a real Indian system of education. Not that we have not tried. Soon after independence, as we all know, commissions have been appointed. Mudaliar Commission, Dattatreya Commission, and one of the famous commissions was Dr. Kothari's commission. Elaborate, comprehensive thinking was done by Darat Singh Kothari in 1964. But after 25 years or 20 years or so, we come out, the government of India comes out with a report, challenge of education, that why we have not been able to implement that. Excuses are given. तो मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ, भारत में स्वतंत्र भारत के शिक्षा प्रणाली कैसे होनी चाहिए, इसके बारे में चिंतन होने पर भी उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना संभव नहीं हो पाया. क्यों? And now we are with the new education policy, and when I see in this hall there are some very important persons who have been involved in framing and implementing that education policy. I hope the new education policy will be successful in its implementation and in forestalling the threats that have been discussed just now by these two authors and what has been told in the book. इसके बारे में कुछ see, not that we don't want things to come from other parts of the world. We have been very open to the ideas as a civilization. The Rig Veda's famous quotation is there, Ano Bhadra Kato Yantu Vishwataha. We want all sorts of, all truths to come up to us. Ano Bhadra. Whether that is coming is Bhadra or not, that is the whole question. If the things that are entering into our homes, into our schools, into the minds of our new generation, if they are not Bhadra, healthy, comprehensive, value-based, civilizationally acceptable, culturally robust, if that is not these, if it is not having these qualities and components, then it is not Bhadra. That's why we say, Ano Bhadra Kratavo Yantu Vishwata. Let the noble thoughts come to it. It should be noble. But what is being now pushed into the education, sometime through certain policies, sometime that is the United Nations, UNESCO, other bodies which are mentioned, and or SDG like things, or sometimes through back doors, or sometimes, as our friend said, through media. So these are the things which should worry us. Of course, I have not read the book, but I have gone through the introduction of the book 2 days back when Vijayaji sent it to me. What is good and beneficial should be accepted, no doubt. But all that is pleasant need not be good. Swami Chidbhavananda used to say, all that is pleasant need not be good. So many a time the things that appear to be good may be having, the package is good, but the content is dangerous. Wordings are very high sounding, terms are very attractive. Sometimes even logic is very persuading, but ultimate result is really destroying the culture, the civilization and values. That's why this is the warning bell that this book has, what it is doing, it is a warning bell that this book has come at the apt time when we, the Indians, have to think about our education for the next 25 years. In the introduction, the authors have listed 10 paradoxes. I am sure you will all be reading the book. Just to give an idea, I will read the paradoxes 1 to 10. Marxist takeover of USC. This is the paradox. Though it is a capitalist country all this year and they have been fighting, how the Marxists have entered from the back doors and how they are taking over the cultural space, the educational space, that has been discussed. Billionaires helping dismantle capitalism and meritocracy. You make money through capitalist ideas, then you want to destroy the same thing, and in the name of DI, etc., which Rajuji has earlier also done, and Gates Foundations, Open Society Foundation of George Soros, and many other people also, that is Omidyar Network. All these people they are engaged in doing this. Leftists support Islamic practices that violates liberalism. There, how the leftists and the Islamic forces have joined hands in pushing and pursuing certain things in the cultural and educational space, that has been discussed by the authors. There is a sentence, when I read this sentence, something came to my mind that I am going to say it here. Rajuji writes here, one can debate whether the left is using the Muslims or the other way around. Some years ago, there was an idea of liberation theology. And I attended a workshop of the liberation theology things in Bangalore, outskirts of Bangalore, in the World Council of Churches organized certain thing. After attending that workshop for 3 days, the same question came to my mind. One can debate whether left is using the church or church is using the left. Because in particularly the third world countries, the poor countries, the underdeveloped or developing countries, both church and Marxism are wonderful things for the people. The church wants to use the Marxist ideology and the Marxists want to use the church network and the funding. So the liberation theology thing came out. piggybacking. So because both religion and poverty, they have been coexisting. So the Marxists found a wonderful field in African and Asian countries to peddle and push their liberation theology. So now the leftists have found new funding masters and networks of Muslims. And the next paradox that the authors have listed is feminists silent on assault womanhood. Deception and opaque jargon used to weaponize the youth for social justice. School children from age 5 becoming over-sexualized. Create interest, curiosity, control them, regulate them, and then destroy them. Their young age is destroyed, the childhood is destroyed. So this sort of, and in the name of education it is being done. Terrible academic standards in India and despite more government funding. This, I do not want to go on these things because why these things are happening in spite of more budgetary allocation over the years, and the real issues many a time are being sidelined, and instead of creating people who can be employed, whose life can be a better life with cultural and civilizational wisdom and values of life, as just now Rajivji explained, LGBTQ and other things have become as if they are the most important global questions, and that will be taught in the classrooms. So we are not preparing the next generation for nation building if this is going to happen. The wokeism which has been in here is now in operation through various means and avenues, and painting all cultures, nationalities and civilizations in one color and putting them in one framework and trying to create a new global order. If this is the agenda of the wokists in the name of liberalism and other globalism, then it is time for us to wake up. And I think that is their agenda, and Rajivji and Vijayaji have already warned us through this book. About homogenization, I want to mention a particular thing that Samuel Huntington wrote in Foreign Affairs magazine years ago. The homogenization through, he termed it as coco-colonization. It is the new colonization through coco-colonization. That is, because of the social media and other things which you have been just now mentioning, the whole world has to have one single type of entertainment. The whole world will have to taste the same beverage. The whole world will enjoy the same stories. It is against humanity. this uniforming of cultural aspects will destroy human civilizational varieties. And through education and media, if somebody is attempting for this, then it is time for us to wake up and stop it. The cultural uniqueness will be destroyed. It will be goodbye to the national identities. It will be the end of civilizational varieties and their contributions to the humanity. I may be saying very serious things. If you think so, once our new generation mind is filled with these things, then one generation is lost. The cultural continuity will be lost. So that's why this is a very serious thing now, which we all have to be aware of and see that these things are stalled at the right time. What the American president will do for his country is his job. What he will do with India, we have to see. But if he is stopping wokeism in his country, let us try to understand how they have been doing it and how they will be achieving success. We can learn a lesson. And in our own way, we have to build the firewalls. We are generally alert for the territorial borders, but our socio-cultural borders are porous now. We should be worried of the cultural borders, because territorial borders, geographical borders, the armies and defense forces will take care of. As citizens, we stand by them. But the cultural borders, if they are not guarded well, the cultural invasion that takes place will create havoc. So that there is attack, we have to be alert, and it is the responsibility. It is not the responsibility of only the government. It is not the responsibility of some university people only. It is the responsibility of the people of the kind that who are sitting here in this room, who are knowledgeable, who are thought leaders, who can create awareness among the people. Many a time, the ordinary people will be gullible. But if the knowledgeable people, if they are not doing their duty at the time, then the damage that is done will be irreversible. Rajivji was mentioning about one incident that one family returned to India. I met a family a month ago in Bangalore who have shifted back to Bangalore for the same reason. In the classroom, maybe 7th or 8th standard class, the boy was continuously being told by the teacher that now you should think that whether you are a girl. So first, for a week, he was just listening, then he started listening, then he became morose, then he became silent, and he talked to his mother. What is the matter? Then the mother came to know that not only that he has been asked to think like that, now he used to start going to the ladies' toilet. You think like that. Why this? What's happening? And if this is going to be there in our society, are we going to have a healthy family, a healthy nation, a healthy society? And that family said goodbye to American job, their career, and they returned to India and now settled in Bangalore. So friends, it is now the responsibility of people who can save this country. Maharishi Vyas, he told, Urdo Bahur Viromyeshan Nakaschit Shrunoti me Dharmadartascha Kamascha Sakimartham na sevyate. मैं दोनों हाथों को उठाकर बोल रहा हूँ, धर्म से ही सब होगा ऐसे, फिर भी क्यों नहीं सुन रहे लोग? तो वेद व्यास ने कहा था, दोनों हाथ खड़े करके मैं चिल्ला रहा हूँ, राजीव जी और विजया जी चारों हाथ खड़ा करके चिल्ला रहे हैं, सुनेंगे क्या? नमस्कार।